I'm back in the studio today and I'm excited to talk to you about the next topic we're covering. This is the third video in a line of videos where I'm trying to help you understand the process of buying a home. You know, anxiety comes from not knowing the process. Hopefully, I can shine some light on this so that you will know which steps to take as they come along as your realtor leads you through this, but you already will know the steps, and it's just going to make buying a home so much more fun. So we talked about putting the names, and we went over that. We talked about legal description. Now we're coming up to the price on the home. You have been out, you've looked at homes, you found the one you want, it's got the backyard where it's your home, okay? So we're going to attempt to buy your home. Now, hopefully you have picked out a lender before you get to this part right here. You should have picked out a lender before you ever started looking at homes. But I'm going to take a moment to talk about that because it kind of goes hand in hand with where we're at right now, okay? Picking a lender, I'm not going to give you all of the views. I'm just going to give you my point of view. I want you to pick a lender that is local. I want you to pick a lender that's experienced. I want you to pick a lender that'll share their cell phone with you, somebody you can text, somebody you can hold accountable, somebody you can go down in front of their desk. Trust me, it is invaluable. If there's a little hitch in the get up, it's great. Also, a lender you can hold accountable is going to be watching out closer for you. I've seen it happen time after time after time in 30 years. So when you get this lender, there's two options. There's pre-qualified and there's pre-approved. Disconnect with the pre-qualified. That's just a tertiary little thin cover of maybe. Get pre-approved. Pre-approved is where they go in and do your credit check, they do your background checks, they do job verifications, and you are ready to go. You bring them the contract, bam, you'll have the money as long as the house meets the loan requirements, okay? We talked about those things real quick, like you're getting ready to talk price, but here's what you need to do before any of that happens. So you're going to meet your agent at 5 o'clock in the afternoon, and you're going to be filling out this contract that we've already started on. Call your lender and say, hey, we have decided we're going to put an offer on 1523 Levi, and here's the price, here's the taxes or the MLS sheet. Can you do us an estimate sheet for this? What the costs are, what the payment are, what our closing costs are, what our prepaid items are, you know, what our down payment is, that type of thing. Now, many times if you've given your lender permission to talk to your agent will already have this for you when you meet at 5 o'clock. It's a good plan for you to check in on it as well. Or check in with your agent and make sure they've got this, because that estimate sheet is what you're going to need to put these prices down and fill this contract in, because we want to have everything as specific as we can get it, and it's no better than the one you get from your lender. Here's what I want you to do. You've contacted your lender and you have your estimate sheet. You filled in the names of the contract with the buyers and the sellers, and you've got the names in correctly. You've researched and got the right legal description, and now you have to determine what price you want to offer, okay? Rely upon your real estate agent and their market analysis, but also rely upon your own intuition. You've been out looking at houses, you feel comfortable about knowing what you're doing, you actually are very well knowledgeable about what prices are worth, and the house is probably reasonable or you wouldn't be writing this offer, right? If your intuition is telling you that this is the home that you guys want to live in, you know, maybe lowballing and offending a seller is not a good plan. Maybe a good, solid, reasonable offer is a better plan. I would bet rather you be reasonable and solid than try to open up negotiations and start a bunch of dickering that just gets you in trouble. So take that advice for what you want, but that's my recommendation. So put your price down there. Make sure you have that estimate sheet that you have gotten from your lender. You have several items that you put down on this, and I want you to be specific and intentional about each one. Never put to be determined. What to be determined means is you're going to determine one thing, the seller's going to determine another, but the judge is going to make the final determination. So just don't do it. If your agent reaches up, puts in to be determined, you need to have them change that and put in a specific figure, okay? First thing you put in is your price. Here's what we're going to offer. The second thing you put in is your earnest money, and your agent will talk to you about that, and I'm going to talk to you about that in another video coming right up. Then you put in the amount of your new mortgage, how much you're going to borrow, and this comes off your estimate sheet that your lender gave you. And then you put the balance due at closing, which is the balance of your down payment, which is your earnest money plus the remainder of the down payment. So if you're putting 20% down on a $100,000 property, you got $1,000 earnest money, your balance due will be $19,000 for a total of $20,000 and 20% down, right? Then you have your loan cost, and I will do another video and break loan costs down more, but these are the cost of getting a loan, what it takes to get this happen. Surveys and title insurance and closing fees and anything that comes into those costs. But those will be on your estimate. And like I said, be specific. Don't generalize it. Be specific. You're going to have your prepaid items. Once again, that'll be another video. But those are insurance in advance, taxes in advance, that type of thing. And once again, your lender will have those on that estimate sheet. Put them in there and be specific. When you get this all done and you followed your estimate sheet, the beauty about this is if you agree with that estimate sheet and the sellers accept your contract, you can be confident that whatever happens, you can afford because you've approved the estimate sheet and you've just transferred it right over the contract. So it eliminates that anxiety of like, oh, what did we just do? Well, you know what you just did because you read the estimate sheet and you know exactly what you've put down there and you know you can afford it and you approved it. It's a beautiful thing to make sure that's done. This little part of the contract is something you really need to watch. Don't just grab that contract up and sign it after somebody's filled it out for you. Just take a moment and look at the numbers and do the math, okay? Trust me, I've done this for 30 years, and I don't mean to, but sometimes I make a mistake. We don't need that, all right? So just do your due diligence. Just make sure I've trained you how to do this so you know where to look, okay? I want you to look for the next video coming up. It's going to be about, like I said, I'm pretty sure it's about earnest money. We're going to go all the way through the contract. So when I get through with you, I'm going to have you pretty well educated on buying a house. And this is what makes buying a house so much fun. When you go into it knowing how the game's played and how it's going to work and knowing all the steps all the way to the time you get the keys. And so I'm excited to train you. Hopefully this helps. If you have any questions, put them down below. Like and subscribe. If you have any other ideas, put them on there. I like to hear great ideas. We're going to have fun buying a house. And as always, I want you to have a blessed day.